All right, let's talk about the big one. Question 4 on your AQA English Language Paper 1. You know that huge 20-mark question that can feel a little intimidating? Well, don't worry. In this explainer, we're going to crack the code and show you exactly how to lock in those top marks. So let's get right into it.
So, let me ask you a question. When you're looking at this exam paper, what's the single most important number you should have in your head? Go on, have a think.
Yep, you guessed it. It's 20. 20 marks. That's a quarter of your entire grade for this paper, all hanging on this one single question. So you can see why getting this right isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely crucial, and that's exactly what we're going to make sure you can do.
And don't worry, we've got a plan. We'll start by understanding the challenge. Then, we'll decode exactly what the question is asking. I'll give you a simple critics toolkit, we'll look at how to climb the mark scheme levels, then we'll build the perfect argument and finish with the winning formula. By the end of this, that anxiety is going to be gone. So, what is the big challenge here? Honestly, it comes down to a shift in mindset. You've got to stop just summarizing the story and start thinking like a critic. Look, the examiner has read the text. They know what happened. What they want from you is your opinion on how the writer made it happen.
To get those top marks, you really do have to become a bit of a detective. The clues are all right there in the question. You just need to know how to read them. Let's break down a real question to see exactly what I mean. Okay, take a look at this. This is from a real AQA paper, and guess what? Every single question 4 you'll ever see will look just like this. You'll get a statement, and then you'll get that all-important question. To what extent do you agree? Let's pull that apart.
First up, the whole point of this question is to evaluate. Now that sounds fancy, but all it really means is you need to make a judgment. You're being asked to assess how well the writer did their job. How successful were they at creating a sense of tension or making a character seem heroic?
Next, you have to talk about the writer's methods. This is your evidence. This is the toolbox the writer uses to build the whole thing. We're talking about those juicy verbs, those powerful adjectives, vivid imagery like similes and metaphors, even the way a sentence is put together. This is the stuff you'll use to prove your points.
And finally, that phrase. To what extent do you agree? This is where you come in. This is your invitation to give your opinion as long as you back it up with evidence. And here's a pro tip. It's not a simple yes or no. The most sophisticated answers often find a balance, agreeing with some parts of the statement while challenging others. Right, so that's the theory. But how on earth do you put it all together when you're in an exam hall and the clock is ticking? Well, you need a simple, reliable framework. Let's call it your critics toolkit. It's a 3-step process you can use every single time.
It's this simple. 1. Judge. Decide what you think about the student's statement. 2. Find. Go into the text and find the writer's methods that support your judgment. And 3. Explain. This is the big one. Explain the effect these methods have on you, the reader. Judge, find, explain. Easy.
So let's talk about the mark scheme. I want you to think of it like a ladder. Your job is to climb as high as you can. And you know what? The best way to figure out how to get to the top, to level 4, is to first understand what the bottom rung, level 1, actually looks like. The difference is pretty massive.
Okay, so this is straight from AQA, level 1. Just listen to the words they use. Simple, limited. It tells you everything, doesn't it? An answer at this level has a basic idea, but it just doesn't dig any deeper. This is our starting point.
And here's what that actually looks like in practice. This is a real level 1 example from the mark scheme. Just have a quick read. I mean, it makes sense, right? But it's not exactly blowing you away with its deep analysis, is it?
So why is this stuck at the bottom of the ladder? Well, it makes a simple point. And yeah, it picks out some words from the text. But here's the crucial missing piece. The comment on the effect is super basic. It just says the words tell us they want to save the baby. It doesn't explain how a word like lioness creates that feeling. That's the key difference.
Now, let's climb that ladder. Welcome to the top, level 4. Listen to the language here. Perceptive, detailed, critical. It's a completely different world from simple and limited. This is exactly where we're aiming to be.
And wow, you can feel the difference straight away. Just listen to how this sounds. This is a little bit of a level 4 answer on that same question. The level of detail and analysis is just on another planet.
So what's the magic here? Let's break it down. Right away, it has a sharp, critical judgment about the contrast the writer's creating. It uses precise terminology like animal imagery and simile.
But most importantly, it digs deep into the effect, explaining how this imagery makes us see Kino as an aggressive hunter while Juana's instinct is purely protective. That is the secret sauce.
Okay, it's one thing to see a great answer, but how do you write one yourself? Let's get really practical. I'm going to give you a foolproof structure, a recipe really, for a top-tier paragraph that hits all those level 4 marks.
Here you go. You start with your point. That's your opinion. Then back it up with evidence, a nice short quote. Next, name the method the writer's using. Then comes the most important part, the analysis. This is where you explain the effect in detail. And finally, just a quick link to tie it all back to the main question. Simple as that.
Phew, we have covered a lot of ground here, from decoding the question all the way to building the perfect paragraph. So let's just boil it all down into one final winning formula. These are the key things to have in your mind to nail that 20 out of 20.
Right, here it is, your path to success. First, always give a clear judgment. Second, focus on the writer's methods. What did the author actually do? Third, use that point evidence method analysis structure we just talked about. Fourth, keep your quotes short and powerful. And 5, and I really can't say this enough, always explain the effect on the reader. That's how you prove you're thinking like a critic.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this question is all about. It's your chance to step up, to be more than just a student answering a question. It's your moment to become a literary critic, offering your own sharp, intelligent evaluation. You've got the tools, you've got the formula, so the only real question left is, are you ready to be the critic?